In this video, I'm vibe coding Instagram with Lovable Cloud, and Lovable AI. Hey, I'm Craig Hewitt. Welcome back to 100 Days of AI. Let's just dive in. This is going to be a real-time build. This is not some kind of curated, highly edited thing. This is me using Lovable to vibe code Instagram, which we all know and many of us use every day. Okay, so here at lovable.dev, Lovable is kind of one of the OG vibe coding platforms. So when I say vibe coding, I mean using words and AI to build software. And so they've recently introduced Lovable Cloud, which brings the idea of database, so data and files, things that you would use something like Supabase for previously, and users, and APIs and services and LLMs, in addition to Lovable AI, so embedding AI and AI tooling and AI, chatbots into your products. Okay, so we're going to do this all today in real time for free with Lovable. Okay, so I'm going to use a prompt here that's pretty straightforward just to get this started, and the AI will help us refine this as we go. Okay, so the prompt here is build a social media app like Instagram. Include features for users, accounts, followers, likes, posts with file uploads, and just plain text, limit to 280 characters, a feed of posts that is curated based on users' previous like and engagement history, and anything else you think appropriate for an Instagram clone. And we're going to just go with all the defaults and just hit go. And so what's going to happen here on the background is Lovable is kind of thinking, it's reviewing what we just said, and it's going to hopefully ask us some clarifying questions before it just goes off and builds, because we want it to do some critical thinking so that it plans out the kind of plan of attack before it just goes and attacks, because that's where you have AI building stuff that's wrong. So it's thinking here, and just to kind of orient ourselves on the dashboard. So this is going to be the canvas. This is where it builds things. Over here is kind of the chat where it's talking about what it's building. Okay, so I'll build Instagram for you. Clean aesthetic. Cool. Features for V1. User authentications, profile, and avatars. Create post images and captions or text. 280 character limits. Follow, unfollow, like post, curated feed, user discovery, profile pages, comment on post. Okay, all good. It's giving just, we'll see what the aesthetic looks like. It's going to be pretty boring, I think. That's fine. Enable cloud, right? So built-in backend, add an LLM to your app if you want. Free to start and pay as you scale. Cool. So this is Lovable Cloud that we were talking about. So using AI and LLMs in the product. And we're going to say, yes, we're going to do that. Cool. So we approved the plan and we enabled Lovable Cloud just to the click of a button. So we're 2 minutes in probably, and we're ticking along. It's got a plan in place as to what it's going to do. We didn't specify any kind of technical things like use React or use Tailwind or use any kind of backend framework or whatever. We're just going to let it decide what it wants to do, because that's what vibe coding is all about, is us giving natural language guidance and it building based on that. Okay. So it's setting up the database schema here. So database schema is, imagine like a spreadsheet. A database is a bunch of tables, right? And a table is like a spreadsheet with columns. And so a column would be like user ID, profile picture, URL or link, avatar, like username maybe, all those kinds of things. And a post would be like post unique ID and maybe a post title, publish date, things like that. So it's building out the schema, and we can see what the schema looks like here. So users, right? Name, full name, bio, avatar, timestamp created. Cool. Posts is user ID, who created it, makes sense. Caption, 280 character limits. Image, timestamp, all that kind of stuff. Cool. Public likes, right? So did they like this post or not? Makes sense. Based on the post ID. So each post has a specific unique ID. Follows, comments, and now we're talking about security. Honestly, I don't know what that is, but that's fine. We'll just go with it. And other security policies here, that's cool. This is something like, as a non-developer, I'm glad that it's thinking about this stuff, because I just wouldn't. I guess these are not security policies, but like policies on the database, like which aspects of the code base can access different parts of the database. That's important, so we don't just totally screw something up. So now it's creating these indexes. Indexes are ways for a database to be more performant. I know a little bit about code, right? So it's creating a bucket, so a big file system to store images. That's cool. right? It's doing all this stuff, right? I'm not doing any of this. It's doing all this, and now it's writing code. So profile.tsx, so I think this is like TypeScript. It's creating all these files, a feed file, bottom nav, create post, postcard, authentication context. I don't even know what that is. But we have all these files over here. So there doesn't seem to be anything in this, just have created these files so far. Okay, so these are TypeScript files, and you can tell by the TSX kind of file extension here. That's cool. So we'll just close these guys back up. And okay, so index.html, this is the main kind of HTML of the page, HTML being like programming language that is the stuff on a web page. Cool. So it's thinking here, as this announcement down here, free Gemini AI in your apps until October 6th. So that's cool. So we'll open this in a new page. This is from the Lovable blog. Lovable is powered by default by Google Gemini. Cool. That's a big deal. Usually you associate Claude and Claude Code with developer-y tools, but a lot of folks I know in the development world use Gemini. So this is cool. This makes sense. I have a Gemini account, so I could probably just hook up my Gemini API key or something if I start using a lot of Lovable API credits, and it would be free. So that's cool. Okay, so back here, let's see. Oh, it's done a lot of stuff. Look at all the files that it's created here. It has all of this stuff. I won't assume that I know what all this is. We'll just say that's cool. Okay, so done. I've built a complete Instagram-inspired social media app with vibrant gradients and smooth transitions. Full authentication, create post, beautiful feed, powered by Lovable Cloud. So it has a backend with a database with profiles, post, follows, likes, and comments, row-level security on all tables, file storage, and post images, real-time authentication with state management. Cool. Okay, what's next? Refine and customize master prompting and explore backend, view your database users, and all this kind of stuff. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to see the product. Let's see, how can I see the product? Cloud, nope. I don't want to see the code at all. I want to see the product. Oh, cool. Okay, all right. Yep, looks a lot like Instagram. Cool. Okay, welcome back. Sign in. I don't have an account yet, so we'll sign up. I'm D. Craig Hewitt kind of everywhere. If you want to follow me. Okay, you're going to sign up. Do not want to save that LastPass. No post yet. Follow some users for your first post. Okay, so we don't have any posts yet, so let's create a post. What is, so GramSpark is what it called this. That's so funny. You can see up here, it gives it a name. Okay, cool. Post created successfully. I can't view it. I can't seem to see how I can change my avatar. So let's say, how do I do this? Because there's no navigation. So hopefully it picks up on this and says, hey, yeah, you need some kind of navigation up here because there's none of this, even loads. So that's kind of weird. So we refresh the page here. It also still doesn't think that I have a post, which I do because I created one and I published it here. And so we'll create another one. And let's see if this one shows up. So maybe this makes sense. Like I have posts, but I should be following people and I don't have a way to follow anyone because this is like not a real product yet. So we'll see what it does with creating navigation so I can edit my profile because ideally you would think this is like in the top corner here. But I just don't see it. And it's not because it's responsive or whatever. Here's how. To edit your profile, go to the profile page, click the user icon in the bottom nav. I don't see the user icon. Do you see it on this page? And I'm just not seeing it. Let's refresh the page. You shouldn't have to refresh the whole page. Like this over here should happen automatically. Okay, cool. This is exactly why I wanted to like real-time code this because this is just how vibe coding goes in all of my experience, whether it's Replit or Lovable or Bolt or V0, is like it thinks there's stuff here that just ain't here. And so what we're going to do is just take a screenshot of the whole thing and plop it in here and say, I don't see the bottom navigation. Okay, bummer. Okay, so I reached my daily limit. So I guess this is a fair place. We'll just stop here and say like, we got really far in building Instagram in about 10 minutes. You get a certain number of daily limits on credits you can use to build out a tool like Instagram in Lovable. What I wanted to really show off is Lovable Cloud. So you saw how it built entire databases, database structures and schemas and security and things like that. And that's the real unlock here is with Lovable, you now can build an entire app with really powerful backend services. So this is not just like a front end vibe codey superficial thing anymore. You can build real production ready SaaS apps and mobile apps and apps for your internal use at your company in just a few minutes. This is just the tidbit kind of cutting edge of what something like Lovable can do. I encourage you to check it out, lovable.dev. I'll have a link in the description below that if you use that link, we'll get you some extra credits and we'll get me some extra credits so we can continue a tutorial like this. I just wanted to show off Lovable Cloud for now. We'll be back with a deeper discussion and exploration of this in future episodes. I'm Craig Hewitt. This is 100 Days of AI. We'll see you tomorrow.